Hi Janet, this is Mike from Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and your White Rotary is done, and this is the final test video. Um, Tomorrow we'll start on your Singer, but as part of this test we're going to go over how to wind the bobbins, how to thread the bobbin, which is different than what you may be used to. How to thread the machine, how to wind the bobbin, how to thread the bobbin, and just generally how to work the machine. Got the light working. I guess I should plug it in. Replaced all the cords to the light and the motor. Actually, I replaced the motor too because I managed to break the housing on your motor. But I had an identical motor that I was able to replace it with. So it's running and sewing great. And we're going to start by winding a bobbin. Your bobbin is down here below the slide off plate, and there's a little lever here at the bottom that releases your bobbin so you can pull it out. The bobbin is in a bobbin case. Your bobbin winder is here. So to wind the bobbin, you put your spool on this spool pin back here, and you go into the two holes on the thread guide here. Fortunately, they have a little slot in the side so you don't have to poke through the holes. So that those two little holes are the tension for the bobbin. Put a few wraps on the bobbin to hold the thread in place while you wind. Then you want to put the bobbin on the bobbin winder with the thread coming down from the top around this way. Just push it on. It's a spring fit. Pick up your slack. Declutch your machine by clicking this little latch right here. Once that latch is released, then your hand wheel can spin freely without making the machine cycle. So release the catch here, and then this spring-loaded thumb screw here pushes the bobbin winder up against the hand wheel. So you just screw that thumb screw that has a spring on it, and you'll see the bobbin winder move up towards the hand wheel. And once it's got firm contact with the hand wheel, that's all you really need. Then give it a little gas, and your bobbin winds. And that should be plenty for our test. Once your bobbin is wound, unscrew the thumb screw a little bit so your hand wheel is no longer in contact with the bobbin winder, and flip that little latch on the back there, and the wheel will spin until it drops into its slot, and then that's going to make the rest of the machine cycle. So with your needle up out of the needle plate, this is your bobbin case, and this projection on the end of it that your thread is going to go through has a leaf spring on the bottom, which is your lower tension, and it's adjusted by this little screw here in the center of the top of the bobbin case, should you ever need to change your tension. Not likely, but you may. With the thread coming off the top of the bobbin in this direction, drop the bobbin into the bobbin case, direct the thread into this little slot on the side here, and then over across that little projection we were just talking about, all the way across until it catches the notch and can go under the leaf spring. So between the two layers of this projection here, and you pull it until it clicks into place, and then you have a little bit of tension on your thread. Again, holding the bobbin case by its little handle here and making sure the needle is up out of the needle hole. Slide bobbin and bobbin case onto that little post, and the lock in place here with that little lever that you push to take it out. To thread the machine, put your thread on this spool pin. Let's see, I think that needs a spool belt. Needs a red spool belt. Oh, I'll find one and put it on there. Put your thread on this spool pin here. Go around the little post on top here of this thread guide, and between the discs of this little tension device into the notch at the end of that thread guide, and then all the way down to this is your upper tension. Yeah, that's your upper tension. Go under this little wire bar and up, and on your way up you'll catch the little spring. It's a check spring inside the slot there, and when you pull on it you'll see the little spring go up and down. Let's see, from there poke your thread into the slot on the side of the take-up lever, so it goes over that little roller and down, and then go down to your thread guide on your needle clamp, and that one you have to poke it through. It doesn't have a slot that you can slide it in from the side. So again, go from the spool around this little pin between the discs of this little tensioner into the notch, straight down behind this wire bail, up and into the take-up lever in this direction, around and down, and through this last little thread guide on the needle clamp. Cut a nice fresh end on your thread so it's the little frayed ends aren't pushing the thread away from the needle hole. And thread from the outside towards the inside of the machine. Now, holding your thread loosely, turn the hand wheel away from you one full revolution, and your needle is going to take the thread down where the hook will pick it up, wrap it around the bobbin, and bring up your lower thread. Again, this wheel turns away from you, unlike on the Singers and most other machines. your lower thread. Put your thread between the toes of the presser foot, and you're ready to sew. So let's put a piece of test fabric under the presser foot. Make sure that the this knurled nut, make sure that that's tight, because that's what holds your presser foot in place. If the pressure foot is loose and can move, your needle might hit that instead of going through the hole in the middle. So lower the presser foot onto the fabric using the lever on the back of the machine. Hold your threads and turn the hand wheel away from you one full revolution. And that sets your stitch, so so it's not going to pull out when you start sewing. So now you just give it a little gas, and away we go. Oh, here, let's do this. All right, did I burn out the bulb already? All right, I'll check into that. We're going to go right up over that tough seam in the Levi's. See, no trouble at all. If you ever sewed on a pair of Levi's, you know that there's these fat seams along the edges, along the pant leg. This is your stitch length. Going up, your stitches get longer and longer and longer. And going down, your stitches get shorter and shorter and shorter. There is no reverse on this machine. I showed you the bobbin winder, stitch length. This is your upper tension. If it looks like your threads are loose and loopy on the bottom, you might want to add a little more tension. It's marked loose or tight. So turn it a little bit, not a lot. Usually you just adjust the tension in tiny increments. I think that's everything. When you're done sewing, of course, you want to unplug. You always unplug a vintage machine. You never leave it plugged in. And on vintage plugs, always make sure that you unplug them at the plug. Never pull on the cord, because they're not molded in like on modern machines. And you can pull the wires loose if you pull on the cords. So always pull it out at the plug. When you go to stow it in the box, you just simply turn the motor this way, and it tucks itself into the bed. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Every 8 to 10 hours of sewing, you want to oil it, and I don't know if you have a user manual for this machine or not. If you don't have a user manual, you can either look on YouTube for oiling instructions, or just search online and find yourself a user manual for it, and that'll have an oiling guide in it. And that's about it. So now we're going to start on your Singer. So thanks, this one's been fun, and she's running great, sewing great. It's a really nice machine.